What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to another Resplendent review. Today I'll be taking a look at Azama and gonna be going over the builds that you can run on him, and at the end I'll have a special bonus segment. So Resplendent Azama is a Gen 1 infantry healer with Pain Plus as the inhittable weapon. He has got the second lowest attack in the entirety of the game and only beaten by Merlinus, who's gonna be getting Weapon Refine in probably a couple of months, maybe in this year. So Azama has got atrociously low attack, but on the other hand he has got a lot of physical bulk compared to any kind of other infantry healer, and he can be compared to Linhardt, who's basically the modern option at this point if you want to have a bulky healer, because Linhardt has got 9 more attack than Azama, which is quite a lot, and you can see that Silk also outstats him in pretty much everything except for the speed stat and the HP stat, which is not the worst thing as a 5-star premium healer, and she also has a Weapon Refine, which cannot be said for Azama or any kind of 3-star 4-star healers, because there's not been any kind of precedence of these units getting any kind of Weapon Refine anytime soon. So Azama can make use of the HP stat to support his allies with Infantry Pulse or Sudden Panic. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have as much resistance, so he's not going to be able to make the full use out of the Ploy skill or Sabotage skill, for example, as many of the healers can if they have higher resistance. But Azama is going to be having a lot more bulk, and if you're going to be building him up, then on a budget you should definitely be giving him the Serpentine Staff or the Incurable Staff that we've got on Soul. So it's also present in the Divine Codes, and it is pretty much going to be the best weapon for him at this kind of low investment, because he's going to be able to damage the opponents with the chip damage and also inflict them with the Deep Wound status. So it does have Fatal Smoke 3 built in. It's kind of a bit better, Fatal Smoke, because you inflict the Deep Wound status even if you die. So you can just try and support your allies with the chip damage and run double Savage Blow to stack that up. And Dazzling Staff is also something that he can run so that he can have the Razzle Dazzle combo. And the slot, it doesn't really matter too much because you're not going to be doing a lot of damage to the modern tanks anyways, and the chip damage is pretty much going to be the main form of damage. But if you really want to invest in him hard with the supportive aspect, then you can try and run Infantry Pulse 4, and you can even run Fire Flood Boost 3, which can give you even more HP. So as you can see, he can reach pretty high amounts of HP, and he can double down on the pulsing by running Grand Scratcher so that he can give another pulse charge to an ally with the highest attack stat. And Light's Restraint and Return Plus are going to be the premium options that he can run on him when it comes to his passives. And making use of the HP, you can also run Sudden Panic so that he can support your allies even more. And you're also going to be getting the guard effect out of the Fire Flood boost skill, which does help for a bulky healer like him. And if you want to go all the way when it comes to enemy phase tanking, then you can run him with Close Reversal, because he's definitely the best healer to run this skill, seeing his physical bulk. So you can run that and also run Attack Resistance Tempo 4 so that he can get the tempo effect along with the guard effect of Seaside Parasol Plus. So until we get some kind of Arcane Staff, this is pretty much going to be the best staff that he can run on most of these staff units, because you're able to inflict the guard effect on the nearest foes within 5 spaces and also within the foes in 2 spaces of them if they have any kind of save skill. So it does help in having the guard effect, and then you can also debuff the enemy's resistance depending on the number of bonus and penalty effects active on foe. So this can go up to -16, so it is going to be helpful when it comes to the damage output. And Holy Panic is something that you can retaliate back with by having Time Pulse 4. So it's a 1 cooldown special, and because of the tempo skill and its null guard, you're going to be able to retaliate back with it. And this is pretty much going to be the build for enemy facing with Azama. Unfortunately, you're not going to be having any kind of guaranteed follow-up attack with this kind of build, and you pretty much depend on Holy Panic when it comes to doing the damage, because even at this kind of investment, his attack is not really high. And if I had to give him a Weapon Refine, then this is what I would do. I would give him Retribution Rod. So Retribution is the personal skill of his in Fates, and Retribution Rod is going to be the preferred staff, which is going to be having Dazzling Staff built in. And then he has got the Attack Resistance Hold skill so that he can support his allies and still get the attack and resistance debuff on the foe. And then I would pretty much upgrade his Pain Plus to Incurable Plus or Serpentine Staff, which is going to be having the deep wound status and also 10 chip damage. So his main form of damage is still going to be through this kind of chip damage, but for his weapon refine, I'm going to be making use of his HP, which is his best stat. So he's going to be comparing his HP with the enemy, and then he's going to be having sudden panic built into this weapon refine along with sudden exposure. So exposure is the status which allows you to get 10 true damage per hit on the enemy. So having more true damage is helpful for a unit like Azama, and it's also pretty helpful for supporting your allies. And you can also debuff the foe's attack and resistance by -6. So this is going to be making him as a pretty nice support unit who can have the global sudden panic and sudden exposure and also the debuffs. And if he engages in combat, then he's able to do the chip damage and get the deep wound status on the enemy. And if the enemy is kind of close to him, then he also debuffs them for their attack and resistance with the hold skill built in the primary effect. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this kind of weapon refine on Azama? I'll be eager to hear that, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks down below or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more free videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Azama's attack stat. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.